I've just woken up from the news. I woke up to get a drink of water, and I looked at my phone. I saw the news at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I had to run in here to make this video because I thought I should talk about it, though I will try my best to be very respectful given the circumstances. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has passed away at the age of 71 from an apparent cardiac arrest. Now, I loathed Lindsey Graham. I despised him because of his voting record, his war tendencies, and the fact that if he was gay, he was very well against the gay community, which is very hypocritical, and I do not like hypocrites. So if that ever comes out as being true, then that's also something I have to hold against it because he's a hypocrite. Now, I'm not going to celebrate his death because I don't celebrate anyone's death. I value human life, and even if it's a person that I absolutely despise, and even if it's someone that I truly, absolutely despise, I'm sorry if you hear my dogs in there. My little puppy that my dog had is very feisty, and they're having a bit of a battle in there. I don't celebrate their deaths, even if it's someone I truly hated, because now a family is grieving. I don't know. I think he had a sister. I know he didn't have a wife or children, but I know he has members of his family still alive that are now grieving the loss of him. And my prayers are with his family. I am religious, but I didn't know much about Lindsey Graham, really nothing at all, until the 2016 campaign for president during the early primaries, because at the time I was still a registered Republican, and I was watching the Republican primaries. I didn't end up voting for any of them because they all sucked, and my party's eventual nominee really sucked. I ended up casting my vote in my primary for Bernie Sanders. And then when he lost the primary election, I voted in the general election for Hillary Clinton because I could not, on my morals, vote for Donald Trump. I stayed a Republican up until 2024 when I registered as an independent. I had my registration switched to independent, or as my state calls it, unregistered. So I could not vote in this recent primary for the midterm elections because you had to be a member of the main party. So I had to wait until November to vote. But I'm no longer an active Republican because the party is no longer the party that I thought it was. I was a very moderate Republican. I was a Lisa Murkowski Republican. Very moderate Republican. Lincoln Republican, if you want to put it like that, before the party switch. I was not a populist. I was not a conservative. I was very moderate. Because I'm openly supportive of the gay community. I support the LGBTQ+ community. I'm openly asexual. I support the right to abortion with some exceptions, I support abortion up until 6 weeks. I support abortion in terms of rape, incest, and the welfare of the mother, or if the child will not survive the pregnancy. But I do think that it is a woman's total right to choose what she does with her body. Just because I support up to 6 weeks doesn't mean that it should always be 6 weeks. Let a woman decide it's her body, not mine. I'm also very supportive of the Black Lives Matter movement. I protested when George Floyd was murdered in my hometown. He wasn't murdered here, of course, but I protested in my hometown. I joined a march that we marched across the city. And I'm thankful that justice was served in that case. I despise racism of all kinds. Even recently, a neighbor of mine got kicked out because he put a noose on his black roommate's bedroom door. So, a lot of us in the apartment building were up in arms about that. Metaphorically up in arms. We didn't actually go into violence. We just got very loud, rowdy, and made it quite clear he wasn't welcome here. But as I was saying, Lindsey Graham has passed away, and now the Senate is now more in play. Because apparently he wasn't polling as well as he normally is because of his warmongering. So now the Democrats have an excellent opportunity to take a seat in that state for the first time in 30 years and give us a good chance of flipping the Senate. If polls hold up in Maine and Texas, at the bare minimum, we could have a 50-50 split in the Senate. And with Lisa Murkowski being a wild card, the Republicans may not have much luck passing a lot of their aggressive, populist, and far-right legislation, or getting nominations pushed through. So, as a human with empathy, rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. I hope in the next life you find peace, and I hope your soul betters itself. Genuinely, I hope that when you stood in front of your Creator, you found remorse for your actions, for your beliefs, and I hope that you were forgiven. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.